Good morning and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. I hope you guys are well. All is good here. It's all going swimmingly. Beautiful spring day. The sun is out. The sky is bluish. There's a few clouds, but it's an absolutely lovely day. One of my favourites. It's not too warm, nice and crisp. So today we're going to be going back to a house I spoke about fairly recently, and that's Ostens. And I did a video which was kind of like an introduction to the house. Using this beautiful discovery set. If you like sampling perfumes and you do want to try something new, then I strongly recommend that you try this. There are 6 perfumes in here and they are all absolutely outstanding. I got a bit carried away with the last video, and quite rightly so. It's very rare that you get a discovery set and every single perfume blows you away, where you're just like, wow, I love all of these. I'm very, very lucky. I get to smell and I get to sample lots and lots of perfume, but very, very rare do you kind of find sort of 6 from one house where you think I could easily own any one of those. They're all really, really good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a series of videos where we go into a little bit more detail on each of these perfumes, because I understand that not everybody can get into London where Ostens are based to try the perfumes. Some of you are international, and it might be a bit more tricky for you to actually get the perfumes. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at each of these perfumes in a separate video, because I think that they warrant quite a lot of talking, to be honest, and I don't want to try and put together a 3-hour video because that would drive you mad. Anyway, so basically, to cut a long story short, you have two chaps. You have Christopher and you have Lauren, who are been worked in the fragrance industry for a very long time. They've worked with lots and lots of very big names within the perfume industry, and they've taken their expertise and put together, they put it all together and decided to make their own house, which is called Ostens, and they've taken their products to the market. I was very lucky to speak to them, and they sent me the discovery set. We got chatting. I absolutely fell in love, and they very kindly said to me, "Look, pick one that you really love, and we'll send you a bottle so you can do it. You can enjoy it and obviously do a video." So I did pick one, and that was this one, which is Cashmeran Velvet. So this is what we're going to be talking about today, but it's not just a bottle that we need to talk about. Cashmeran Velvet itself is a synthetic molecule. I don't think it's that different to Cashmeran, which obviously most people that have an interest in perfume are familiar with. I think it's a bit kind of like, ISOE Super and ISOE Gamma. They are different synthetic compounds, but they do sort of kind of smell similar. So I think Cashmeran Velvet is just sort of some slight tweaks on Cashmeran, but please, research this one yourself. I'm not a scientist and I'm not a chemist. I'm a perfume enthusiast, so I don't want to get too drawn into the technical side of things because I don't know and I don't want to give you the wrong information. Okay, so obviously, once again, thank you very much to Ostens for sending me the bottle, and this is how it comes. It comes in a lovely box like this. This is a rare one for me. I'm actually talking about a box, but it comes in this textured and beautiful box. Inside the box, you have lots of artwork and stuff like this that tell you about the brand and that kind of thing. And then you have a little bag like such, a little velvety bag, which is perfect for the perfume, which contains the preparation oil. There's a little glass wand in there as well for you to apply it. And then you have the perfume itself. Okay, so as I've said, I'm wearing it today and I did apply the oil. You just put a couple of drops on your finger or on the wand and rub it into the applied area. Just give it a couple of seconds to dry out and then spray the perfume over the top. It's an interesting one because you do kind of notice a slight difference with the perfume when you wear it with the oil. You don't have to, you can wear it without the oil. But when I actually smell the oil itself, because it's one of those molecular ones, I don't get very much of a strong smell from it at all. And again, I'm not going to get into the science of all that. Certain molecular perfumes work well with others and others don't. But the perfume itself, I can smell perfectly well. So I think basically the oil just amplifies the perfume. It may enhance performance, I'm not entirely sure, but it does give a certain lift to the perfume. But it's also a nice touch because it tells you, the background story of the perfume. So what we'll do is I'm going to have a little spray of it now, just to top up what I've already got on. There's no need for it. This is purely for the purposes of the review and the fact that I'm a glutton. Okay, so that's that. Now what we'll do now is we'll let that settle down and we'll look at the notes of the perfume. So at the top you have amyris oil, you have olibanum oil, you have Cashmeran Velvet itself. Then you have cedarwood oil, you have sandalwood oil, you have an orris accord, and at the base you have vanilla bean extract, CO2 LMR, patchouli heart LMR, and musks. Now the CO2 LMR, that's purely to do with the extraction of the oil from the material. So don't worry too much about that. It's just the process of how they're using the material and how they're getting the oil from the base material to transfer into your perfume. It's quite an art form, and there are certain companies that specialise in it, mainly from Grasse in France, which is kind of where I believe the heart of the industry is. Again, I'm not going to get too much into that. I'm a perfume enthusiast, not a scientist, nor a chemist. But the most important thing is, how does this perfume smell? Well, it smells beautiful. And the thing is, I have to say this quite a bit, it's the most textured perfume that I've ever smelled. You can feel this, not only smell it, it really is so much more than just a smell. It's everything. It's beautiful. And I'm going to use the word hug a lot. There's nothing more exciting than the word hug. I understand that, and it almost sounds like it's being derogatory to the perfume, but I'm not. It really is a warm hug. It's a cuddle of a perfume. I referred to it as kind of like a security blanket, and it really, really is. It's such a mood enhancing perfume. It just makes you feel amazing. It makes you smell amazing, but more importantly than that, wearing a perfume is about you. It just makes you feel fantastic. It's beautiful stuff. So what happens? Well, when you spray it, it's sweet as well. It's a lot sweeter than you think it's going to be. When you sort of describe it and you look at the notes, you're thinking it's going to be very woody, and it is quite woody. Well, it is very woody actually, but it's sweet and woody. And I think that's the thing that really appeals to me. That gives it that crossover from people that just like sandalwood style frags, or they like synthetic molecular fragrances and stuff like that. But what you have is the best of all of that, wrapped up in this sweet, warm cuddle of a perfume. It is so, so nice. There's such a lot going on, but it manages to retain its characteristics in quite a good way. It's not, I wouldn't describe it as being totally linear, but it is more linear. There's not too many twists and turns. It doesn't suddenly, throw a curveball and go off in a completely direction. What you're kind of smelling in the opening is kind of how the perfume just behaves as it goes on. Certain materials come in and become more prominent as the perfume changes through its course, but it doesn't really change too much. It doesn't go off on any tangents or anything like that. It's just perfect. Now, I've smelt an awful lot of perfumes in the last year or so, and this is certainly one of the most, if not the most impressive perfume that I've smelt. And it's just because it resonates so well with me. It's everything I like in a perfume. I don't know, they couldn't have made a more me style perfume. It's just beautiful. You have this sweetness. There's a tiny, tiny hint of smoke in here, but it's like a wisp. It's like a little plume of smoke just pops up every now and again, and you're like, wow. And then what it does is it makes everything quite realistic. Now, obviously, the heart of this is a synthetic molecule. It's a synthetic perfume material, but there's lots of naturals in here as well, and they all blend together to give you the best of both worlds. I know lots of people are obsessed with natural perfumery. I'm not particularly worried about it. I like smell. I don't care if a perfume has lots of naturals in it or lots of synthetics, as long as it smells good to me. And what they've done here is they've combined everything to make this phenomenal perfume. Now, when you talk about synthetic materials, there's a big, big difference between something being synthetic and something smelling synthetic. And there's nothing in here that smells synthetic at all. It smells incredibly real, if you know what I mean. And you have this sweet, woody vibe with a little tiny bit of smoke, as I mentioned before. As things come on, you get the orris starts to come in. So if you like an irisy kind of perfume, there's a hint of that. It doesn't dominate. You don't suddenly think, oh, this is all about iris, because it's not. This is all about the woods, and it's beautiful. And there's a reason why this is called Cashmeran, because it does smell like the texture of cashmere. It's absolutely beautiful. And what happens when you wear it, it's not a beast. It doesn't massively project. It doesn't fill a room or anything like that. It's very, very dignified, but it sits around you and it puts you in this warm, fluffy bubble, which is a really, really lovely place to be. It smells nice to people around you. It projects fairly well. It's not, as I say, it's not a beast. It doesn't push out. It sits above your skin for a very long time, especially if you use the oil as well, because that does seem to make it last a little longer. But you know, I can pick this up when I go to work, and when I come home I can still pick it up on me, so you have no worries about performance. I think it's just an absolute work of art. Price wise, this is one of the cheaper ones from the house, and this is, or more more affordable ones. This is £105 for 50ml, plus you do get the 9ml as well. So I think it's an excellently priced, but I think they're all excellently priced, to be honest. I think because of the care, the materials, and the work that's gone into to all of these perfumes in the collection, they're all very, very well priced. I can't say enough good things about this. It's beautiful. The dry down, as I say, it doesn't really change that much, but you'll get more from the vanilla. I think that just comes in and makes things a little bit more creamy. The sandalwood's quite creamy anyway, but it's not overly done. It's not too gooey. It's not too gloopy. It's just a warm cuddle of a perfume, and I thoroughly, thoroughly recommend it. I could sit here all day waxing about how much I love this perfume, but that's not really telling you anything. I think you already understand that. So I'm going to call it a day. But if you do get a chance to try it, try the collection, please do. But look out for Cashmeran Velvet. This is a splendid perfume, and I think anyone that likes a woody perfume, whether they're male, female, will absolutely enjoy this one. It's one that the younger thrusters can wear. The more mature fragrance enthusiasts like myself will really, really love this one. It's completely, it's for everyone. You can wear it anywhere. It's a perfect perfume for work. It's a perfect perfume for dressing up and going out in the evening. It's just an absolute stunning frag. It's not, it's not a nightclubbing fragrance. If people still go to nightclubs, I don't know. But it's just, I can't think of anywhere I wouldn't wear it. I've worn it on warmer days, I've worn it on colder days, and it's been absolutely perfect for pretty much every environment. Maybe it's going to struggle a bit in high heat, possibly, but I'll still try it. Don't worry about that. Anyway, listen, thank you very much for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm sorry it's been a bit of a gushy one, but I'm really, really impressed with this perfume. So there you go. Anyway, thank you very much for your time, and we shall see you on the next video. Cheers, thanks, and bye.